Hey everybody, this is Lisa from Lisa and Mandy on the Road. Currently, Mandy is out in the water, jumping off a pier. I can give you a quick show. I don't know if you can, she's kind of far away in the distance. Anyway, I wanted to talk about van life relationships, gossip, negative attitudes on YouTube amongst, van lifers, nomads, travelers of the road. But first, I really want to give you some background on myself, some of my family members, and a little information about our life with traveling and living on the road occasionally. We're not full-timers at this time. We still have a 13-year-old daughter who is currently homeschooled. She's actually been homeschooled her whole life. She is in 7th grade, going into 8th. She has been home with us for 7 years. We have a 19-year-old son who has moved out and moved on. And he was homeschooled for a couple of years until he got into the school that he needed to get into. So, we live in Massachusetts. We travel all over the South, Florida, etc., etc. We're avid campers. We were avid motorcyclists before we had our children. My husband and I pretty much traveled everywhere on our motorcycles. We originally started out with a little 3-man tent on our motorcycles. And really with no destination. We would kind of get on our bikes and pack up for the weekend, hit the road, and throw a tent down in a campground or even in the back of businesses or any piece of grass we could find and enjoy ourselves. And we really learned to love camping and being on the road. It was amazing to have that sense of freedom. You know, we had a little cook kit. We just brought clothes we needed. It was warm weather, so it was like, t-shirts, shorts, maybe a sweatshirt. And we got on the bike with a very thin blanket rolled up in our little 2-man tent, 3-man tent, and we just went. It really got into more than that over time. After that, we ended up buying a slide-on camper. We had a really big truck and a big old slide-on. It was very boxy. It tilted side to side. It was a little hairy, scary driving it. Some days you felt like you were going to go over on a corner, and it was a lot of fun. It was a very cheap old camper. It didn't leak. It gave us what we needed. At that time, we ended up getting 2 small dogs. We got 2 miniature pinchers, and they traveled everywhere with us. And that really led us into more of hitting the road. After that, we ended up getting a 5th wheel. It wasn't a very big 5th wheel. It didn't have any slide-ons. And we had that for maybe a year or 2. And, at this time we were already married and we had decided we wanted children. And I was pregnant with my first child. So we ended up trading in and getting a 5th wheel with slides. And the reason for that was because our previous 5th wheel was so narrow that we couldn't even fit our playpen, which we were kind of using the playpen as a crib and a little place for our baby to play in. And we had that for several years. We ended up with a 2nd child. Along came a 3rd. He wasn't from us, but he is ours. He's Japanese, good-hearted boy, same age as our own biological son. And went to motorhome, went to a tiny tag-along while they tented. I think we've had probably 7 or 8 different types of camping, traveling vehicles. Our boys are now 19, going to be 20, off on their own, college. One moved in with a long-term girlfriend he's had. And what we have left at home is our 13-year-old daughter. So Dad and I decided to downsize and buy a road trek. In the beginning, our plan was to either buy a Dodge or a Ford Transit and build out. And in our beginning of our videos, you'll see us talking about building out a Ford Transit. And the reason for that is because we were in the process of buying a brand new one. Excuse me. We were going to different dealerships, trying to price them out. We kind of had our plans of how we were going to build it. And somehow, by the grace of God or whatever you believe, this van magically showed up on my husband's page at a dealership for extremely low price. We were like, that's got to be wrong. Like, there's no way. So my husband said, well, let's check it out. And I said, it's a scam. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to even, I've seen scams on Marketplace on Facebook. And I was like, there's no way that beautiful 2002 van could have like 32,000 miles on it and look new. Well, my husband went to check it out. And believe it or not, the price was real. The woman had it. She found it very big for her. She never used it and wanted to trade it in for just a regular new car. The dealership, it wasn't a camper dealership. They didn't know much about it. They didn't know anything about RVs and wanted to unload it. And believe it or not, we were extremely lucky. And the Ford Transit kind of went out the window. We are road trek people. So we've been up and down the East Coast. We've been to Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. I mean, we've gone through all the states. We still like a lot of summer camping in Massachusetts. It's our favorite place. We like to travel to Florida in the winter and would like to maybe move there sometime in the future. At this time, not to get too deep into things, I do have a very sick husband. He's got a load of health problems, some major heart trouble. And so sometimes we're not on the road that long. Also, we have school. We do a lot of homeschooling with Mandy, but the way we've homeschooled, she's literally learned things hands-on. She's seen the things that you read about in textbooks in person. That's the beauty of traveling in an RV or living in an RV, whatever you do, is that your kids get to see and experience life firsthand. I honestly think it's the best way to raise a kid. Not all of us can do that. So we love our van. We're big fishing people. We still have our motorcycles. I have to say we don't use them very often. They are in storage, kept safely. It's kind of hard with my husband's illness and also having a child that's only 13. You get a little iffy about riding motorcycles with a young passenger, especially the way people are texting and driving now, and it gets kind of scary. So that's our story. I have to say, I've learned everything about van life from watching YouTube. I started out watching maybe 2 or 3 van life people who live strictly on the road in a van or some type of an RV. I learned a lot from them. I learned how to stay cool when hot, how to stay warm when cold. I learned how to cook when there was, no stove. I mean, when you're just, unable to plug in somewhere or propane. I learned how to make a fire. I've learned all these great things from van life people and RV people. So I have a list of my favorite people. Now, these people are wholesome, family-oriented, or family safe to watch. So my kids have always watched these videos with us. We all learned things together, my children. And they all have their own story. We all have our own story about why we do things. Health problems we all have. We all have mental health problems. We all have a story. And it's okay to have a story. And we shouldn't pick on each other for whatever our story is. We should learn to lift each other up, pat each other on the back, give a little good word to keep us all going. And it's also good to support each other's YouTube channel. Maybe taking the time to watch a video, or clicking like, or maybe subscribe. If you don't like a certain video, you can always skip through and watch a different one. My videos, unfortunately, do not have any editing. I'm really not good with that stuff. I know I should probably take the time to learn, but I'm always busy, at schooling or doing things, or, taking care of my own health and my husband and my children. So my videos, I actually just learned to turn my camera sideways. I mean, all my videos are like filmed straight up and down, and they're really narrow, and it's terrible, but I still hope you watch them and like them. They're not well organized, but they're truthful. You will see bloopers in our videos because, like I said, I don't edit anything. You will see some funny stuff. My oldest boy will say he has a touch of Asperger's, and my boy says it like it is. He's not being fresh. He's not being rude. It's his tone. It's the way he's always spoken. That just goes along with Asperger's. Some people laugh about it. Some people say, oh my God, you should spank him. He's an awful kid. No, he's really not. He's actually really, really funny. And we're so used to the way he is. I have to say I'm quite blunt myself. I think I'm more behaved on YouTube than probably in real life. I kind of say it like it is too. So let's get back to some YouTubers that I think, if you're interested in watching good people and their whole story and many adventures and lots of advice, these would be the people for you. Caravan Carolyn is one of the people that I really do like. Unfortunately, Carolyn went through some awful YouTube bullying by some not very nice people, and her videos lately have been very short. I absolutely adore her. She is a very well-mannered, polite woman, very classy. Simple little videos about her dog, stuff that she's been through. Her good friend, Camper Van Kevin, is really a sweet guy. He's funny. He's had different types of vehicles that he's lived in. Very talented man when it comes to fixing cars, making a build, creative type camping, and he's wholesome. There's nothing dirty, no swearing, no nothing. You can watch him with your children, whatever you got. He also has 3 dogs, and he has little voices for his dogs, which we think is hysterical, and they all have their little own personality. I think you would get a kick out of Camper Van Kevin. When I talk about these people, it's always best to start in the beginning of their van journeys or RV journeys, so you know about their whole life. I have watched these people struggle through cancer. I have watched these people struggle through depression, broken down vehicles, horrible storms, the loss of a friend or family member. There's so many uplifting and sad moments, but you're going to love all of these people. Trent and Allie is another favorite. This couple has gone all over the world in their van. Things slowed down for them, of course, with COVID-19, with a lot of the other ones as well. Trent and Allie are finally having a baby, and their new journey, being pregnant, is awesome. I really encourage you to watch their journey from the beginning as well. Eamon and Beck, another young couple, traveled everywhere. I mean, a lot of fun. I encourage you to watch their YouTube channel. Tyler and Todd, handsome gay couple. Absolutely love them. Very quirky, funny, cute, sincere. I mean, the most loving couple you'll probably ever watch on YouTube. And their journey is really great too. You've got to watch them. So my all-time favorite that I've watched since the very beginning is the nomadic movement. young couple who's also currently having a baby. They're pregnant. Actually moved out of the country, and they are trying to build and live off-grid and start their own van life community on a large piece of land. They're all helping each other build homes for each other since the pandemic started and they were unable to travel on the road. I really, really, out of them all, encourage you to watch the nomadic movement. Excellent van life people. So Van City Van Life is really cool. He lives in Canada. He travels all over Canada in a Chevy Express van, I believe, or it might be a Ford van. Forgive me if I'm wrong. He's got a bulldog. His bulldog is adorable. It's just him and the dog. They travel everywhere. You know, they get stuck in snow. They visit different music events. He was a DJ for many years. He's a very talented man. Gotta watch him as well. Chad and Paul, very cute couple. Gotta watch them as well. Okay, so Jeffy Bear, he is Van City Van Life's friend. He's kind of new. He's really a lot of fun. Okay, so part of the point of this video. Now, I grew up a Catholic. My mom was a Catholic. My dad was Jewish. He practiced his faith. My mom raised us kids with her faith. I grew older and really got into meditation and Buddhism. So I believe in God. I believe in the words of Buddha. I believe that he traveled the earth and meditated and tried to spread the good word along with Jesus. I share my views kind of privately. I don't enforce them on my family. My children were raised in church. They really don't practice that much anymore. My husband is an atheist, which has never been a problem for us. He has always supported me in my religious beliefs and my children and whatever they wanted to do. I have no problem with anybody's faith, or even if you don't have faith. I believe that we should believe in ourselves and have strength and love and power in ourselves and be good to each other. I'm not perfect, far from it. But my favorite YouTuber, who I've actually watched for probably a year now, he has a YouTube called Rolling Earth Ship. His name is Lewis. Lewis is a really great Christian. He doesn't push. He does speak the truth. He speaks straight from the book. But he has great adventures, a wonderful family. He's very generous. He's kind. Oh my God, is he funny? Like, he has this whole thing with his hair. It just makes you want to keep watching. His cooking skills are amazing too. You'll get some good recipe ideas if you're on the road. I learned to make cornbread in a skillet. Thanks to Lewis. Lewis, a few years ago, had a relationship with Lidia. Lydia also had her own YouTube channel. She still does. She has several channels. One she calls Simply RVing, and the other one she calls Simply Living the Word. That page is more of her reading the Bible, speaking about God, helping those with their faith. Recently, they broke up. I want to say it's about a year now that they have broken up. It was very sad to watch both of their videos because these two loved each other very much. You could tell. Lewis absolutely adored her. He was very good to her. Lydia, towards the end, really bashed and badmouthed Lewis. Now, this relationship was long over. I'm heartbroken to still see a long-time YouTuber I've been watching, two of them, struggling. Lydia just repeatedly still makes videos bashing Lewis, which you will never see in any of Lewis's videos, him being rude in any way or, unkind to Lydia or others. I mean, he's very generous. You always see him working on her RV. You'll always see him buying her stuff, like walkie-talkies so they can communicate, because she didn't like the phone when they followed each other. You will see in Lydia's videos her yelling and screaming on video because the road was too narrow, or she can't keep up with him, or, you know, awful things. Both of these people are parents. It's sad to see that Lydia is still making videos and bashing Lewis. You know, both of my kids, my husband, you know, we follow these people for many years. Some people just watch TV. We tend to watch YouTubers. And it's heartbreaking to see this, and it really stinks that I have to explain it to my daughter, how unkind somebody can be. What bothers me the most lately is that Lydia will say that God is this, or God is doing that, or God is opening her eyes to this, or, you know, God has shown her evil people. And you know what? Read the Bible, believe what you want. There's nothing evil or unkind about Lewis. There just isn't. Like I said, Rolling Earth Ship. You really, really gotta watch Lewis's videos. He's an amazing father, and his videos are unbelievable. His travels to Arizona, his small excerpts from the Bible, just beautiful. Anybody would love his videos. But what I'm getting to is that I don't want people who aren't van life people, or nomads, or travelers, or RVers, who aren't those people yet but want to be. I don't want them to think that this is how relationships on the road are, because they're not. There's so many successful relationships. Sometimes one bad apple falls from the tree and unfortunately spreads rumors or gossip, creating the other apples to start rotting from the ground. I'm really sad. I'm really bothered. I have left Lydia some words on her YouTube channel because she just can't stop, and people are upset, and we have lots of new people that follow us and are very interested in this type of a lifestyle. Please, please, please do not be discouraged in any way about doing what we do. This is quite the lifestyle. Like I said, we're not full-time. I would like to be full-time. And it will happen eventually. But don't be discouraged. There are so many people that you will meet in your travels, lifelong friends. I mean, I went to a campground once and I had a puppy. My puppy's now 16 years old. His name is Louie. I met another couple who was walking their puppy, and we had the same black lab dog. And we just were talking to each other. And we ended up hanging out the whole camping trip. And our kids were very close in age. They had a boy and a girl, 2 girls actually. I had 2 boys and a girl, and they have become lifelong friends. They have moved away from where we live and now live in the South. We travel every year and visit them. We call them, we send in cards, birthday cards, you know, lifelong friends. And this was all from camping and traveling. It'll never change for us. We will always have them. And we've met so many other amazing people. And you can too. Do not let situations like this that you might see on YouTube discourage you. And honestly, when you see Lydia or somebody else speaking so horribly about another van life person, just hit stop and move on to another channel with a more positive vibe and a great outlook, because there's just so many of us that love and can't wait to meet you and want to do great things. So I hope you enjoy my video today. I know it's not very exciting. I will try to make some good videos. You know, we also have an Instagram, Lisa and Mandy. Try to find us there. There's a lot of modeling pictures for Mandy. She's trying to maybe look into a little bit of modeling for the future. She's an absolute beautiful girl. And there's a lot of fun videos, a lot of bloopers, some goofy stuff we say and do that will be coming. And I would like you to become part of my family right here on YouTube. So keep your head up. Please explore these people. Let me repeat some of these people I would love for you to watch, and I really think that you would enjoy. And here we go. Like I said, Rolling Earthship. Fantastic videos. You will see lots of different traveling, lots of beautiful sights. Jeffy Beer, Camper Van Kevin, Trent and Allie, fantastic. Like, they've been all over the world. You've got to see their videos from the start. Tyler and Todd, love them. Van City Van Life, Chad and Paul, and the Nomadic Movement. I really, really suggest you see the Nomadic Movement. I think you're going to enjoy their videos too. And like I said, start from the beginning, learn these people's lives, become a part of their life on YouTube. We all feel like we're family because we're all watching each other. We're all like responding in comments, and we all love each other. I think of us as like the van life community, RV community, nomad life. I think of us all as one big family that learns from one another. But do try to stay away from the negative people. It really takes the fun out of what we do. Okay, Lisa and Mandy on the road. Please hit like, hit subscribe, and join me again in the future. Thank you.